A major diplomatic breakthrough may be on the horizon as details of a reported 14-point draft agreement between the United States and Iran have emerged. According to documents obtained by CNN, the proposed Memorandum of Understanding outlines an immediate ceasefire, economic relief for Iran, the reopening of key shipping routes, and renewed commitments regarding Tehran's nuclear program. While the agreement has not yet been officially released, sources familiar with the negotiations say it could pave the way for a comprehensive peace deal between the two longtime rivals. The final document is expected to be formally signed in Switzerland on Friday. Let's break down the key points. Section 1. Immediate end to the conflict. The first and most significant provision calls for an immediate and permanent end to the war on all fronts. Both the United States and Iran, along with their allies, would agree to cease all hostile actions and refrain from threatening or using force against each other in the future. The agreement would also extend to regional theaters, including Lebanon, signaling a broader effort to de-escalate tensions across the Middle East. Section 2. Respect for sovereignty. Under the second article, both nations pledge to respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity. They also commit to avoiding interference in each other's domestic affairs, a long-standing source of friction between Washington and Tehran. Section 3. 60-day negotiation. Window. The draft sets a deadline of 60 days for both sides to negotiate a final comprehensive agreement. This period can be extended if both governments agree. Section 4 and 5. Reopening the Strait of Hormuz. One of the most critical aspects of the deal concerns maritime security. The United States would lift its naval blockade and restore normal shipping traffic within 30 days. In return, Iran would ensure the safe passage of merchant vessels through the Persian Gulf and the Sea of Oman, while also removing mines and technical obstacles affecting navigation. Given that the Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's most important energy corridors, reopening the route could significantly stabilize global oil markets. Section 6. $300 billion development plan. Perhaps the most eye-catching provision is a proposed economic rehabilitation package. The United States, together with regional partners, would support a comprehensive economic development plan for Iran worth at least $300 billion. The exact funding mechanism would be negotiated during the next phase of talks. Section 7. Sanctions relief. The draft agreement states that the United States would work toward ending sanctions on Iran according to a mutually agreed schedule. This includes potential relief from UN-related restrictions, IAEA-related measures, and unilateral American sanctions, including both primary and secondary sanctions. Section 8. Nuclear commitments. Iran reiterates in the document that it will never produce nuclear weapons. However, the draft leaves unresolved the future of Iran's enriched uranium stockpile and other technical nuclear issues. Those matters would be addressed in the final agreement. This remains one of the most closely watched aspects of the negotiations. Section 9. Maintaining the status quo. Until a final agreement is reached, both countries would maintain current conditions. Iran would avoid expanding its nuclear program, while the United States would refrain from imposing new sanctions or increasing military deployments in the region. Section 10. Oil export waivers. The agreement would allow Iran to resume exporting crude oil and petrochemical products. The U.S. Treasury Department would issue waivers covering banking, insurance, transportation, and related services, effectively reopening Iranian energy exports to international markets. Section 11. Release of frozen assets. Another major provision involves Iranian funds currently frozen or restricted abroad. According to the draft, these assets would gradually be released as negotiations progress, with Iran's central bank gaining access to the funds for approved uses. Necessary licenses and permissions would be issued by the United States. Section 12 and 13. Oversight and implementation. The agreement also establishes a monitoring mechanism designed to oversee compliance and implementation. Iran would only proceed with negotiations on the remaining issues after receiving assurances that key economic and maritime commitments are being carried out. Section 14. United Nations approval. Finally, the draft states that any final agreement would be endorsed through a binding resolution of the United Nations Security Council, giving the deal international legal backing.